Ryan. I'm back for our brand new video this week, and today I'm joined by Craig Malcolm.
Ball in the box. Malcolm scores. Craig Malcolm puts the Blues in front in 62 minutes with a great header.
Talk me through your early years of being a footballer.
So I started off as a young boy playing as a centre midfielder up until I was about 14, 15 years old. I played for my local boys club team, a team called Westwood Rovers. It was Barry Russell's dad actually who was the manager of the team, so that's how I got to know Barry all the years ago. Baz is obviously a couple of years younger than us, but even as a young boy coming up and joining in training, the only thing you wanted to do was kick lumps out you. It didn't matter the fact that you were twice as big as him at that time, he'd still want to try and kick you during training and pick fights for you, and obviously some things never change because he's still the exact same to this day. From there I moved on to Raith Rovers when I was about 14, 15 years old. Managed to get a trial with them through my local select team. Got in there and again I was playing centre midfield for a wee bit. We weren't very good the first year, to be honest. We were getting a bit of a hiding most weeks against all the kind of better pro youth teams. There was a couple of us from East Kilbride in that team, and I always remember driving home for games and sitting in the car and, discussing with the boys for East Kilbride, like knocking a few goals off the scoreline so we'd go into school and tell our pals we only lost 2-0, 3-0 instead of 5 or 6, just to try and make it a wee bit more respectable. So the first season was pretty poor, and because of that, because we were struggling, a kind of manager tried me in a different position. In 1 week we actually managed to score a goal, which was a rare occurrence in that season, and it was obviously myself that got moved up front and managed to score it. So I just think it was a wee bit of luck that I get put up front at the time in a poor team and managed to probably score one of our only goals of the season, and from there I've just always been a striker. So a couple of seasons in the pro youth team, and then I managed to get myself a deal with obviously Raith Rovers and spent a couple of years up there full time, which was great. As a young boy, that was always the dream to go and play professional football and train every day, and to get to live that, even if it was only for a short period of time, was something pretty special.
You started off your professional career at Raith, then making the move to Arthurlie. Talk me through that time.
Yeah, so as I said, managed to get a 2-year kind of YTS deal full time for Raith Rovers, just through doing pretty well with the youth team the season before. It's I suppose every young boy's dream to go and play full time football, and although it obviously wasn't the level that you would hope for, I still got to live that dream of going out and training every single day, which was brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Living up there as well kind of helped me grow up a wee bit as well. So yeah, it was a good 2 years. Unfortunately it didn't end the way I'd hoped. I'd kind of left at the end of that second season and kind of been told that there would be a contract sitting there for me when I came back my holidays, and away I went and came back to be told that they'd signed someone else instead of me, and they'd kind of went down a different route and went for a more experienced player. So I can understand the decision now, but at the time I was absolutely gutted about it, to the point where I kind of fell out of love with the game. I stopped playing football altogether and ended up going playing with my pals again at an under-21 team. From there I ended up signing with a junior team called Johnson Borough, maybe 6 months down the line, getting back into it and starting to enjoy it again and get that wee buzz, and then moved from Johnson Borough to Nielsen for a season, then obviously ended up at Athley the year after that, which was a great 3 years. Played with a lot of good players and a lot of boys who kind of linked to Stranraer, the likes of Franco was there, Sean was there, Big Neil Parry was obviously at Alloa now, Stevie Aitken and Lee Sharp were there when I first went in as well, so we had a good team, and it was a great 3 years, as I said.
After playing juniors football, you moved back to professional football and you signed for Stranraer in 2010. How did it feel signing for Stranraer?
So that was down to Stevie Aitken really. As I just mentioned, played with him at Athley the season before, and he left halfway through that season to become Keith Knox's number 2, and at the end of the season obviously said he wanted myself and Sean to go down and sign. So after 4 years of playing junior, it was a no-brainer really. It was time to give it another crack and try and prove a few people wrong. I think the fact that Sean came with me really helped in terms of settling in. The fact that we both got off to a good start as well made a massive difference. You know, you're moving up a level, and there was probably a lot of people questioning whether we were good enough to play for Stranraer, so it was really good to go in there and score a few goals early on, and that helped the confidence. As I've said many times, playing with guys like Mick Moore and Armand on that first season was massive. You know, they'd done all the hard work and taking all the hits for me, and I think the fact that they were two well-known proven strikers, you know, defenders were probably a lot more worried about them than they were about me, which gave me a wee bit more space and freedom to go and score a few goals, so that was great. The season after was obviously disappointing at the end, losing that playoff final to Albion Rovers and breaking my leg the same day. That's probably, you know, the worst day of my football career, and unfortunately one that I'll never forget about, because two of my pals played with Albion Rovers that day and they like to remind me about it on a daily basis, so yeah, that was disappointing. The next season was brilliant, you know, going up into League One because of the situation with Rangers and competing, even though we hadn't had a chance to build a squad for that league. A lot of people had kind of written us off before the season had even started, so we went in there and, you know, we, as I said, been written off for day one, and, you know, getting into that final game against Stenhousemuir, knowing that if we win we stay in the league, was massive, you know, not just for the club financially with Rangers coming up, but for players, you know, at our age, our level, playing against, you know, 50,000 people doesn't come around very often, so we didn't want to be one of the few teams that missed out on that. So yeah, it was a great end to the first 3 seasons.
After 3 years at Stranraer, you moved to Ayr United. Why did you make that move?
Memories of that season weren't great, to be honest. I think it's safe to say things didn't really go according to plan in that move. The main reason, in fact the only reason behind it was to see my son playing football. You know, obviously 3 great years at Stranraer, having to travel down there for, you know, your pre-match meal early every Saturday morning means I was missing, you know, pretty much all of his football, and it was something that I didn't want to continue happening, and that was the kind of only reason why I decided to kind of try and move on and get something a bit closer to home. Obviously for the footballing side it wasn't great. I had to play probably more than half the season playing centre midfield because I couldn't get a game up front, but it's just one of those things. I suppose you're better being on the part than not being on it at all, but as I said, it probably was a season that didn't go according to plan, and the less time speaking about that season the better, I think.
After 1 season you moved back to Stranraer. What was the reasons of moving back?
The reason behind this was again just down to Aidan's football. Thankfully Stranraer wanted to re-sign me, which, you know, as soon as I I knew that was the case, then I didn't even have to think about it, because Aidan's football had moved from a Saturday morning to a Sunday, so I didn't need to, worry about missing his games on a Saturday morning for going down there kind of early for the pre-match meal and stuff. So yeah, as I said, it was something that I didn't even need to think about as soon as the opportunity came back up. To be honest, if I'd known that his football was moving to the Sunday the year after, I probably wouldn't have moved in the first place, but I did, and that was that. That second spell down there was pretty special. I think the first season back was obviously the year we nearly won the league and had a great team. I think Jama was talking about it recently. There's one moment that it really sticks out where Sean fired a ball across the goals against Morton. I think it was like the second or third last game of the season, and both myself and Jama flung ourselves at it, and it missed both our studs by an inch or two. And you think, if that had went in at 0-0, things could have been a lot different, and we would probably have went on and won the league, which would have been pretty special considering some of the teams we were up against. But no, it wasn't to be, and unfortunately missed out again, the year after in the playoff final against Ayr, which was another sore one to take. But some great players and some great times again the second time down there, playing with guys like Willie Gibson and Andy Stirling, Paul Kearney. It's just so much easier as a striker playing with guys like that. You just need to be in the right place at the right time. They're almost going to, hit the ball off you and it goes in the net, and you can take all the glory for it. So again, another 3 great seasons down there, and loved every single minute of it.
You were recently voted for the team of the decade. How does it feel being regarded by all the fans?
No, it's amazing. Something that I'm really proud of. If I'm being honest with you, I'm pretty surprised I actually got in. I know I was there for a long time and scored a few goals, but there's a lot better players than me who didn't get into that team. So it's a real honour to be voted in by the fans. I think the fans down there appreciate guys who go out and give 100% and play for the jersey, and I'd like to think that's what I've done every game I played for Stranraer. So I think that's probably what helped me sneak in ahead of some of the others that probably deserve to be in it just as much, if not more.
You're the second top goal scorer in club history, scoring over 100 goals. Is there any goals that stand out?
I think out of all the goals I scored, there probably wasn't many good ones. I can't, off the top of my head, actually think of any from outside the box, to be honest. I think that kind of tells its own story. Probably the goal that stands out the most is the one against Brecon, just to get to the 100. It was, I've said a few times, something that was probably in my head for a long time. And just before it, I went in a wee goal drought of, I'm saying wee goal drought, a big goal drought of about 4 or 5 months where everything I hit was just a disaster and I couldn't score for the life of me. So yeah, to finally get that 100th goal was pretty special. It was a header from a Willie Gibson free kick, so you just when Willie's over the ball, you need to just get yourself into the right area and hope it kind of hits off you, and that's exactly what happened. We kind of put it on the money, and thankfully I was in the right place at the right time. So yeah, that's the one that kind of stands out just because of what it meant personally.
You played 200 games for Stranraer. What's been your highlight?
The highlight was probably that full season when I came back from Ayr. Going away and realising I'd kind of made a bit of a mess of it by leaving and coming back in to such a good team with such a good group of boys and such a good team spirit, and you know, winning most weeks and going so close to achieving something special. Doing it with, you know, three of my pals, Fisco Bride, with Sean, Jammer and Barry being there. That was brilliant. That season was the kind of, out of all the seasons, that was the one that kind of stands out. In a one-off game, I think it has to be that Stenhousemuir game, just in terms of, you know, what it meant to the club, what it meant to us as players, you know, to get the chance to go and play against Rangers 4 times the next season, and obviously with it being the last game of the season, knowing that it was our kind of last chance, and managing to get the 2 goals that day as well, that was pretty special in terms of a one-off game. So I think they're probably the 2 that stand out.
You're still playing at East Kilbride. What's your ambition for this season?
That's an easy one really. It's to hopefully get East Kilbride promoted into League 2. It's going to be very difficult. I think, you know, the lower league's getting stronger and stronger every season, and I think now with the pyramid system that's in place, over the next few years you're going to find it's going to be more and more competitive every season. So we know that we need to try and get out of the league kind of as soon as possible, and hopefully it's going to be this year. I think with the new manager coming in, Steve Aitken coming in, taking over, I know what he brings, and you know, obviously Tiff coming in to give him a hand. It's going to be exciting times. Hopefully they can get the right players in that we need to improve on what was a poor season last season, and we can kick on and go one better than we'll have been, you know, a couple of times previously where we've came so close but not quite made it over the line. So yeah, that's the aim, all going well.
Who's the best played against and why?
Maybe not the best player, but certainly, you know, the toughest opponent, or the guy that always sticks out when I'm asked this is John Hughes. When I was a young boy playing with Raith Rovers, I'd made my debut the week before against Inverness and managed to, in fact Ross County I think it was, and managed to score. So the next week going to Falkirk, I was kind of expecting to play and pretty disappointed to be on the bench. Came on with about 20 minutes to go, and it was John Hughes and Kevin James who were playing centre half for Falkirk. One was 6'7" and John Hughes about 6'3". I think after about 30 seconds I realised why I hadn't started the game. You know, I was a wee boy playing against 2 monsters, and you know, every single time the ball went out of play, he was breathing down my neck, whispering things in my ear, standing on my toes and nipping me. It was a pretty horrible experience, to be honest, and something that, you know, to this day I always remember, and kind of made me realise that you need to have that physical side about you as well, no matter what size you are, because defenders are never going to feel sorry for you, and they're always out to kind of try and get one over you. So yeah, that's the one that always kind of sticks out for me.
What's the best 1 to 11 players you've played with?
Oh, this is a killer question, this one. Definitely going to forget about somebody, or I'll leave somebody out here and they're going to take the huff if they see it. So I'm hoping if I do forget about them or I leave them out, they don't watch this because they'll fall out with me. Off the top of my head, I'm going to go for Neil Parry in goals. Right away, I'm thinking David Mitchell's probably been a bit hard done by there, but I'll go with Neil Parry in goals. I played with Alloa and at Arthley. Right back, I'll go for Robbo, Scott Robertson. Left back, I'm going to go for Jackson Longridge. My 2 centre backs, I'll go for, I think Andy Greer at Alloa needs to be in, and I think Big Alan Lithgow will be the other one. Right right away I've realised that Franco's not in it, so no doubt he'll be on moaning at me. Nah, I'll go with they two. Franco was too moany, so he's not getting in. Yeah, so Alan Lithgow and Andy Graham, centre halves. Right mid, Sean Winters right mid. Left mid, I'll go for Willie Gibson. My two centre mids, I'm going to go for Graham Holmes and Scott Agnew. And then I'll have Michael Moffat up front with Jammer playing just in behind him. So yeah, Jamie Longworth and Michael Moffat is my two strikers. So aye, that's not a bad team, I suppose. We'll go with that.
Have you any funny football stories?
There's a few, to be fair. I don't want to tell you any that's going to get me or anybody else into too much trouble, so I'm trying to think. My favourite one is probably at a Player of the Year dance we were at. I'll not name who it was, but I think after telling the story, most of you will probably be able to take a guess. The place we were having a Player of the Year dance had a couple of halls, and in the other one there was a hen do. There was maybe 25-30 women in this hen do having a wee party. Halfway through the night I decided to walk to the toilet, and I heard them all going wild, so me and another boy popped our head in, and there was this guy for the team standing in the pool table. He had stripped off on the pool table with two pink cowboy hats on, one in his head and one in probably the only other place you could have it without getting in jail for indecent exposure, I suppose. Dancing away as if, you know, he'd been a professional dancer for years, having the time of his life with 25-30 women going absolutely wild, loving his moves. So that was pretty funny and something that we still talk about to this day. Trying to think what else. As I said, I'm wary of saying stuff in case I get boys into trouble. There was another one where we had a night out for Stranraer, and we went to Carlisle for a Christmas night out. After the night, me and Mark McGuigan were sharing a room. We had a few beers in our room, and there was a couple other boys there. So after being told to keep the noise down 4 or 5 times, the manager ended up coming up and was going berserk at us. And there was one guy in particular who was not up for this night ending. He was having the time of his life, dancing about in the room with his bottle of Desperado and his doner kebab, and that was Jamie Longworth. Obviously everybody looks at Jammer as this Mr. Nice Guy, which obviously he is, but like we tell you, with a few Desperados in him, he has the potential to go off the rails, and he's one you need to keep an eye on in a night out, because you know he can get you in all sorts of bother. So yeah, Jammer's one to look out for the night out. That night we got papped out the hotel room. Me and Mark had to wait on Mark's brother finishing a night shift in Glasgow to drive down and pick us up, because none of the other hotels would take us because of the flooding. And Jammer just saunters off to his own bed, hugging his doner kebab and his bottle of beer, not a care in the world, basically hanging us out to dry in the middle of the streets. So yeah, that was pretty funny, I suppose, looking back on it. It wasn't at the time, but it is now. Thanks very much, Ryan, for the interview. I've enjoyed doing it with you. It's brought back some good memories. You know, as I've said, my time at Stranraer was probably my happiest as a footballer. You know, the 6 seasons down there were certainly my most successful, and probably the times that I enjoyed the most. So it was good to relive some of the memories from such a fantastic club. So thanks again, and take care.
Thanks, Malky, for this week's interview. I really appreciate all the time you've put into this. I miss you at Stair Park and scoring all them important goals. I wish you and East Kilbride all the best for the rest of the season. And everybody, just remember to like, subscribe and share, and hit the bell so you'll see when there's a brand new video. Peace, see you next time.